So I've been asked by the team at the Wildlife Trust if I could make a little bit of film about lockdown and nature, how important nature has been to me during lockdown. So what I thought we'd do is go for a little walk. On the walk I've done nearly every day through lockdown, and I'll chat to you. The first thing that's a bit difficult is they've asked it to be for it to be a little film, and for me nature has been probably the most important thing through lockdown. So I'll try and rein it in, but you'll have to excuse me if I start rambling or going off on a tangent about it, because it's just been spectacular. We're on the edge of Sanctuary Beacon, so we'll go inside and I'll chat to you as we walk along. So this has been my early morning walk, most mornings, and evening walk sometimes, quite often. I think doing the walk 4 times yesterday was my record. But I better explain who I am first of all. So my name's Nick Taylor and I work for a project called the Penwith Landscape Partnership, and what we do is we're a partnership organisation with several different partners. The Cornwall Wildlife Trust is the lead partner in the project, so I'm actually employed by Cornwall Wildlife Trust, and my role in the Penwith Landscape Partnership is the volunteer coordinator and Penwith Hedges project officer. I'd only just started in my job when lockdown started. I'd been there about a month, I think, and to start with we thought, well, what is it we're going to do? Are we going to be furloughed? Are we going to continue in our jobs? And we actually got a steer from the Heritage Lottery Fund, which funds our project, to think creatively and imaginatively to support our volunteers and our local community. And so that was a fantastic direction to follow. So I wondered how it was going to be to support the volunteers without having contact, without having practical days that we could organise for them. We have a weekly email which goes out by the Practical Tasks Officer that has a fantastic amount of information in, and I think that was really useful. So what I did was I put my mind to organising some events that the volunteers could take part in remotely, and one of the things we did was we organised, we'd planned to have to do a bio-blitz, and a bio-blitz is a 24-hour wildlife survey. You normally do that on a single site, and we were going to postpone it, but we thought, could we do it virtually? Is that possible? And we tried it and it worked spectacularly well. We had, I think, over 100 people taking part in their gardens all over Penwith, recording wildlife, sending in their records all for the week, over the 24-hour period. It was fantastic. Other things I've done is I decided to make some little films. I think, like I'm doing now, I'd take out the GoPro and have a wander around and chat to the camera about what I was seeing and about the habitats and the wildlife. Quite a lot of filming here actually, because this was my regular lockdown walk. And if you're interested in seeing what I produced, I've put the videos up on the Penwith Landscape Partnership YouTube channel, so you can have a look. So what was it like? Well, I've always loved nature. I've always been lucky enough to my career and my interest have always kind of blended. I've always worked with nature. I was a zookeeper originally, and I've been a conservation teacher for quite a few years, and one of the things that I'd always felt was I really loved nature, but I've had this sensation that I didn't quite appreciate it enough, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I thought perhaps it was because it was so beautiful that it was actually impossible to appreciate it enough. That was my initial that was my feelings about it. But you know what? During lockdown, I've realised that actually I could appreciate it, and the thing that made the difference was time. And so in lockdown I spent time in nature, just sitting and listening and going on the same walk over many days. Just gave me that insight. I just got to know, I know this area we're in now, the beacon, this is Sancreed Beacon, so that's the beacon up behind us there. It's a heathland habitat with a little patch of woodland and these beautiful heathers behind. I got to know this patch so well, and seeing it day after day, seeing the changes in the plants, seeing all the plants grow. I've watched these heathers come into flower. I feel that much closer to it. It was fantastic, almost a profound experience. I know as we came in, I should have showed you, there was a bush that a wren used to sit on every morning singing, and then just for the first few months of lockdown, on this wire just here, there was a pair of linnets, and they were there every morning. So previously I would have just walked along with my binoculars and thought, oh, linnets, but those little linnets up there, I saw them every day, and I just loved it. I loved them, and yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. So I had a look back in my, I sometimes post on Instagram, and I had a look through my Instagram posts at what I posted early on in lockdown, and one of the things that I noticed was that I'd said, despite it all being very scary and very strange, what I really hoped was that afterwards we remembered this connection with nature. I feel fantastically lucky to live in an area where I've got, within walking distance of my house, all this natural beauty, and I want to live in a world where everybody has that opportunity. I think we can do it. I think we can learn to manage our wild spaces and our urban spaces, our living spaces, in a way which means that we are all surrounded by nature all the time. And so that's the kind of vision that I think lockdown has given me, that we really could live in a different sort of world. So how do we do that? That's the big question. Well, there's many ways, many things that we can do, and one of the things that one of the reasons for me talking to you now is to encourage you to become a member of your local wildlife trust. If you are already, fantastic. If you're already a member, fantastic. If not, join your local wildlife trust. Also, here in Cornwall at the moment, what is happening is that we've got a survey, a questionnaire about people's experiences of wildlife during the lockdown period, and what we'd love you to do is to take part in that questionnaire. Send us the how you felt, because we've got this sneaking suspicion that not just us in the Wildlife Trust, many people across the country have felt the same way, and we would love to be able to demonstrate how people have felt during lockdown, how good nature has been, how important it's been for them. So that's what I would urge you to do. Take part in the questionnaire. Okay, thank you very much for listening, and check out my YouTube videos. There's more stuff, more of me rambling, wandering around in Penwith, and I'll see you again. Cheers, bye.